Are you guys looking to scale your farm? Well, Coastal Crypto has your back. Check them out in the link in the description. They have miners from all walks of the park, so check them out. And don't forget to use code Blue Moon for 2% off any purchase. Thank you. What is up, everybody? It's Blue Moon Mining here, and this video is basically going over, is it worth solo mining? Well, I guess not worth solo mining, but what are the risks to solo mining? There's a lot of risk, and sometimes there's a good reward, sometimes there's no reward at all, depending on what coin you decide to solo mine. So I kind of just want to go into some points here on whether it's worth the risk or not, bring up some major things that you should probably look into before actually solo mining, that could possibly help you find the coin that you want to solo mine if you want to get into solo mining. But just remember, the risk normally outweigh the reward depending on how patient you can be and how much you can afford to keep solo mining without a profit, because you don't make a profit solo mining. So let's get into it. So of course, the first thing you want to know is what coin are you going to solo mine. There's lots of different coins out here that you can mine. Go over to miner pool stats, and should have had that pulled up already, but sometimes I'm a little slow about that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different coins you can mine. These are just the top proof of work coins that are out there at this current moment in time, and you can tell Bitcoin's always at the top, produces a phenomenal amount of money a day. But you also have new coins that come in, and some people like to get into those new coins, just build a huge bag of them just in case they ever explode. But 9 times out of 10 they just kind of bite you in the ass. But say you were going to solo mine Bitcoin. Well, there's a lot of things you got to factor into it. Of course, you want to know what the price of Bitcoin is currently. You also want to know what the block reward is. Block reward right now is 6.25 Bitcoin, but there is halvings every 4 years for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is having its next halving sometime around 2024. And it will be cutting the 6.25 Bitcoin block reward in half. So you want to know what the block reward is, how difficult it is to hit the block. Right now, a Bitcoin block is super difficult, 43 trillion difficulty, meaning that if you were to hit the block, you would mine the block at a higher difficulty, basically. So, what's another thing you want to go? You also want to look into the hardware you're going to use. Is the hardware capable of solo mining, and how much electric does the hardware use? Like, for say you want to solo mine Litecoin, well, the best Litecoin mine you can get is 9.5 gigahash. Now, you're going to be paying a lot of money to run this and not have any profit. Right now, just normal mining is, you're making $10 a day, but solo mining, you're not making money every day. There's a chance that you just won't make a profit at all. And this thing is burning 3,400 watts. Now that's a lot of juice. You're using, depending on your electric rate, which that's another thing you also want to look. What is your electric rate? Say you're paying 9 cents per kilowatt hour. You're spending $7 a day to run this machine. Now say you have a ridiculous 16 cents per kilowatt hour. You're paying $13 a day to run the machine. Or maybe you got lucky. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just pay 3 cents per kilowatt hour. You're only losing $2 a day. Depending on what your situation is, you may be able to afford that. And some people are so lucky, they don't have to pay a dime. So if they don't have to pay a dime in electric, guess what? You're pretty solid. You don't have to worry about most of the risk, because in the end, you're not paying anything to actually get the coins you're solo mining. But the likelihood of you getting free electric is very slim. And if you live in a place that offers free electric, I'm pretty sure they'll come talk to you if you are, burning 3,400 watts a day. So, well, that's not even a day, but pretty sure they'll come talk to you if you're losing X amount of dollars a day. And trust me, if I was a person that was paying for someone's electric, I wouldn't be too happy either if I was paying $1,000 a month for electric. So, what is electric rates across the United States? Well, the average in 2021 was about 11 cents per kilowatt hour. This kind of just shows a chart and what areas pay the least to the most, red being the highest. Of course, you got Alaska, California, Hawaii, New York, and all these very heavily populated areas, really dense population, and probably not the best to produce electric. I personally live here in Minnesota. I pay around 10 to 12 cents. That's in the summertime. It's a little bit cheaper in the wintertime, but we have a lot of solar panels. We have we have a nuclear, nuclear. We have all that kind of stuff. We even got wind turbines here too in Minnesota. So it brings the cost down a little bit more. But if you were to go to Washington, which is probably the cheapest state to pay electric in, there's a lot of hydro. And hydro is very efficient, so it will make sure you don't have to pay a whole lot. But yeah, there's also things that you can check your chances of you hitting a block. 2 Crypto Calculator by 2 miners. They have kind of like a few coins, and you can check if you can solo mine it. Just depending on the hardware you have or the exact hash rate you have for that algorithm. You could easily just go find the coin that you're mining, click it, and if you scroll down, it will give you what your chances are of mining a block. So say I have 2 3060 Ti's mining right now. You know, this is just a rough estimate of what they'll be making before electric. This doesn't incorporate electric. But say I wanted to solo mine Ergo. So click Ergo. It's apparently 290 mega hash. It's not always correct. Never believe in what the mega hash is. It's whatever you get your overclocks to. But it would say I won't even hit a block within 30 days. So, you know, it's a test that I'm going to do in the future with my solo mining series. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, excuse me. But you know, what if you wanted to solo mine Cortex? Well, you gotta, whatever the hell that means. Looks like you can get over. Well, hold on. Oops, that's not what you're actually getting. Let's see here. Alright, let's try that again. So you're only getting 6.2, whatever that is. So, looks like you'll get about $20 in Cortex in 30 days. Maybe I'll solo mine Cortex in one of my videos and we'll see if that's actually true. But what about the big boy, Bitcoin? Everyone wants to win a Bitcoin block. 120 some thousand dollars at the current market. So, say you got a couple terahash. Put 2 terahash down and then, oh, look at that. So, look at that. Chance per block, 1 in 158 million. Chance per day, 1 in 1 million. And about 3,000 years later. Now, of course, if you know anything about solo mining, it's chance. You're not gonna. It's not 100% certain. This isn't 100% accurate data. It just kind of measures depending on luck, based on luck of how much luck this amount of hash rate can get. It bases it on how many hashes it's giving every second. Of course, 2 terahashes is a lot of hashes, but compared to the other coins on the market or other miners on the market, there's over 6 million miners currently mining Bitcoin at 350 exahash. So a few terahashes are going to do a whole lot with that, but you guys can always go to solochance.com and kind of add up your hardware and see what there is. Right now I got 3.8 terahash going, and that's my odds right here. But I am getting an S19, or not an S19, an S9. So say we're going to throw about 18 terahash on there, and it just increases your odds, but it's not 100% certain. Now, of course, I am solo mining the CK pool. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but CK pool has hit a couple blocks in the past week, but those were all done by over a petahash. So thought I'd just mention that. But yeah, so there is a lot of stuff that goes into solar mining, and there's a lot of risk involved. You know, you're paying a heavy electric bill depending on the hardware that you're using. If you're solar mining on a GPU, it's going to be way cheaper than solar mining on an ASIC miner. And most of the ASIC miners these days are profitable in some way, especially if you get the newer hardware. If you have older hardware, though, there's a chance that you're in a negative. And maybe you want to throw that older hardware onto a solar mining pool as long as it's not taking a lot of power. Now, there are a lot of ASIC miners that don't use a whole lot of power. There's a lot of those mini miners. Maybe you just want to take one of those, not profitable right now, slap it solar mining. You know, there's a chance you may get a block. But is that coin also solar mineable? You know, you can find many coins that don't have a solar pool unless you know how to create your own pool and solar mine by yourself. But yeah, so does the risk outweigh the reward? Well, a simple answer for me is it depends on your situation. If you can afford the electric, if you can afford the loss that you're going to take and cost of operating the machine, and if you have the patience to continue to mine that coin without being eager to just put it on a pool and just let it make you money every day except for losing money every day, then you can do it. If you want to solo mine, nobody's stopping you. But of course, none of this is financial advice. Nothing I say is financial advice. You have to do your own research into it, figure out how much you're paying for electric, figure out what kind of hardware cost do you have, like what hardware do you have, can it solo mine, is the coin even solo mining? Now, another thing I forgot to mention, are you making more coins per day pool mining than solo mining? Like Conceal. If I were to put my two 3060 Ti's on this, it would be making 16 or 14 coins a day. Now, how many blocks a day? Well, there's a chance you may only get one block a day, and that is only 6 Conceal compared to 16 or 14. What about, you know, let's say I'm solo mining Nexa right now. And I did hit a block. A block is 10 million Nexa. Per day, if I was just pool mining, I would get 43,000, or equivalent to about 43 cents before electric. 10 million completely outweighs the amount I would be mining every day. And even that, I was mining Nexa for a week, 6 days when I hit that block. 43,000 times 6 does not equal 10 million. So it's paid for the amount of loss that I made. And I was able to afford to keep that running while I waited for that block. And it was successful. I got a block. It's worth over $100 at current market value. Who knows what the price will be in the future? Some people would probably keep this coin. Some people will take the coin, swap it into another one, and hodl that. Me personally, I'm going to take this block, turn it into Bitcoin, hold the Bitcoin. But yeah, like what, say you want to mine Flux. 18 Flux, that's phenomenal compared to 0.7, 0.6. Maybe that's a coin that you're interested in solo mining. Check it out. If you can afford it, you can do it. But yeah, that's another thing you want to look into. Are you making more coins a day pool mining compared to what you would be solo mining? That's something you always want to look into. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to wrap the video up here, guys. I don't want to be pushing it too long, but it all comes down to if you can afford it, if you can do it without putting yourself in a financial burden. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it kind of sheds some light on the risk and reward factor to solo mining. And if I do need to make a second video to go over more topics, let me know down in the comments. I love to read you guys' comments. I love to have feedback to see what I need to work on. So let me know down in the comments below, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.